Hey everyone, and welcome to a new episode of my Parkitect Sandbox Park. Now we're nearing the end, as you can see. So we just have one more big area here to fill in. And other than that, we won't be done yet. Other than that, there's lots of detailing still to be done. Anyway, today's episode I'm going to focus on this area over here. And we already have quite a lot of coasters, but they're the most interesting rides, of course. So in this episode I'm going to add another coaster. And not just a random coaster, no. Over here I want to build a mine train coaster. There we go. I think a mine train coaster will fit this area perfectly, since we already have some mine theming going on. I added a little bit of stuff while you weren't watching. And a cool thing about the mine train coaster in this game is that it actually has a switch track element. I believe it's the only coaster that does. So let me quickly build one of these. So just make a few station pieces. And here we have the switch track element. Now we have to extend it a few pieces, or else we can only have really short trains on the track. But kind of how this works is the train will drive to the end of this element. There it will stop, and then after that it will continue on through the track backwards. So obviously we will need another one of these somewhere along the track. But it's nice to be able to do these kind of things, without track merging, stuff like that. The stuff you need to do in Rollercoaster Tycoon 2 to do this. And now it seems to be a little bit confused on how it needs to continue along the track. Anyway, my plan for this mine train coaster is to have a station somewhere over here. And the chain lift will bring it all the way to up here. And in this area it will travel back and forth several times. At some point it will have the track switch. And then it will continue for a bit backwards. And finally it will have another track switch before it returns back to the station. I think I'll be able to make an interesting layout here. I'll probably move the monorail out of the way slightly. Especially in this section, so we have a little bit more space to work with. But I think it will be a really nice coaster. So I think this will be quite a lot of work, especially the decoration part, since I want to have several tunnels. So it will kind of look a lot like this section of the accelerator coaster. Anyway, a lot of work, so let's get started. Alright, the layout of the coaster is completed. Now, it's probably not the most exciting layout that you could think of, but I think for sure it will be more of a thrill ride, so something that families could enjoy together. So first, the coaster travels up the lift hill here, then it does quite a shallow curved drop. Then it passes under the track here, a little bit of a small hill here under the original track. Then here there's the first switch track. I'll probably put some dynamite and stuff here at the end, just a little scene, so it makes sense that it retreats backwards. Now here there's a little bit of a backwards section, so quite a steep drop, probably the steepest drop here, it goes backwards. Here there's a big curve over the rocks, and then here there's another switch track. And then finally here there's a curve drop down, and almost immediately after that it hits the brakes here before it returns back to the station. So yeah, again, not the most exciting layout, but it's more or less something for a family to enjoy. Now I would have liked to get some more length in, but I'd have to weave in over and under the original track, and I cannot really be bothered to do that. Unless... Now that I think of it, probably quite a lot of the track will be underground, so it probably wouldn't be too bad. Since the train has quite a lot of speed here, we could probably just make a little circuit under here, just to extend the length of the track a little bit. Because I think this last bit over here is just a little bit sad. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and do that, and we'll be back in a while. Alright, it ain't much, but it's honest work. Anyway, I don't want to make these underground sections too long, because they look quite uninteresting when you ride the coaster, since all you'll just see is a great tunnel around you. But I think it is a fun way to just extend the track a bit, since we do have all this space right under here. Anyway, making the track layout is one thing. Yeah, it will be a heck of a job to decorate all of it. So for most of the ride I will just raise the land under it, make some nice looking tunnels, add rocks, plants. I think in the end, if we make it look somewhat like this, I think it will look really cool. Anyway, yeah, first thing I'm going to do is work on the station for the ride a bit. Yeah, I plan to have a little rocky section, like some hairpin turns to get up here. And probably the exit path will come out from a cave under it. So yeah, let's get cracking. Alright, and with the entrance paths connected, we can actually start testing the ride with guests in it. So yeah, it's always a nice moment. So it will be nice to see the trains go around in it. Now we could have 4 trains on it, but I think 2 trains should be enough. Not sure how many guests this ride will get. But yeah, I always like to go for a few less trains to prevent having the chance of trains waiting on mid-course brake runs. Yeah, I really don't like it when trains are waiting there, and I'd rather just see them keep going. And I think a full queue looks nicer. Alright, I've now done the rough landscaping under this coaster. Now, I think this rock formation here is looking quite impressive. Obviously it's not done yet. I want to make it look more like this. And for that, yeah, I just need to place lots of rocks and plants around this area. Now, I do quite like how these switch track sections look over here. With yeah, this one ending a bit here on this on this section. I think this will give the guests some something to think about when they approach this section here. I'll probably play some TNT or something similar over here. Now, over here in this section, it doesn't matter too much since the guests approach this section backwards. So maybe play something over here. But yeah, I think it's time to place down some rocks around the area. Alright, I've added some TNT barrels over here, or TNT crates. And what I did here is I added some spark emitters. So now it actually looks like the TNT is lit. So that's definitely a good reason for these vehicles to turn back here. At least I would probably turn back if I had the opportunity. Alright, I will continue doing some landscaping. I think with these rocks that I'm adding, it's already looking much nicer. And then later when I'm done with the rocks, I'm just going to add some plants, some desert plants like cactus and stuff. Here's a little diversion. I got a message that one of my shops has been without stock for over 30 minutes, so I have to figure out what's going on here. I do see some stock over here, but it might be that my hauler is not actually able to get here, so I'll have to figure out what's going on. Alright, it looks like this hauler somehow made it out of his zone, or maybe this is still in the zone, but he wasn't able to find the path to the staff room, which is actually somewhere underground here, all the way over here. But yeah, he's underground now, so I think he'll be able to find his way over there. At least that's what I hope. It looks like it. Alright, so that shop should be able to stock itself again. Now, I may need to figure out why the hauler actually didn't find his way to the staff room, but that'll be something to worry about later, or maybe in between episodes, because I want to finish this area. Alright, I think that's looking pretty good in terms of foliage. So yeah, I think the final thing that we have to do in this episode is make the station for this coaster. Because right now it's still a little bit bare bones and it could definitely use some sort of building around it. And probably also some fences, because what we have here right now probably is not very safe. Alright, with that, I'd say our mine train coaster is completed. Now I did quickly check the ratings, and it's actually a very low rating, and that's not surprising since it only has really shallow drops. Maybe just the backward section could be a little bit exciting for the guests. But yeah, as I already stated in the beginning, this would be more of a family coaster anyway. But yeah, with all the decorating done, I think it will be fun to actually finish this episode by taking a ride on this coaster. Now, if you liked this episode, please consider giving it a like. It would really help out my channel. So big thank you to all my patrons who keep supporting me. I really appreciate it. Maybe in my next series, in the credits of the video, I'll just list all the patrons. I think that will be nice. Now, I do have a next series in mind, but that'll be something I'll be talking about later. So yeah, with this mine coaster completed, this will not yet be the end of the series. As you can see, we still have some areas of the park that need some detailing. So yeah, after this there will be 1 or 2 episodes of detailing, and there will be an episode where we take a tour through the park and a ride on all the coasters. That's a proper way of saying goodbye. Anyway, yeah, enough talking. Let's go ride this coaster. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you again in the next episode. See you later.